the Psychic Coffee Shop and Coffee and Tea. I'm Aeson and of course with me tonight is the original tea drinker herself, Dottie the Psychic. How are you, darling?
Hello, my darlings. I'm doing pretty good. I am in a constructive manic phase, which is an entertaining place to be in life.
I always enjoy it when you get into your constructive manic phase. We never know what she's going to build. Hello, Miss Brenda. Good evening. Tea or coffee? Grab them and let's sit down and have some chitty chat. You've got some things to announce, don't you, my dear, in your constructive manic phase?
I have two big things to announce, actually. So the first thing is first because it's happening first, and that would be the Metaphysical Professional Conference. It is an RSVP event. I have not set up the Facebook event yet. That is going to happen. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be setting up Facebook pages after I get my homework done because I'm back in school. Semesters have started.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be a metaphysical professionals conference going on. So if you're making your money off of, Reiki, fortune telling, things like that, I definitely would like to see you there. We are still looking for speakers, but I have already got a state recognized suicide prevention program is coming, and we will get certificates for taking that class. It's an hour class, so that's going to be going on. Aeson's going to be speaking on professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
There will definitely be, I think that we're still filling in the blanks. That's still pretty early, but it's going to happen. That is going to happen April 12th.
Okay.
From 10 to 4. And then we've also got a much bigger event because I've only got room for like 20 or 30 people for that. But the much bigger event that you are all welcome to attend, that is for everyone, is the Metro Valley Pagan Pride. This is in some ways, it is started by Colin. We are taking the Charleston area Pagan Pride and evolving it in the spirit of bringing people together, educating our community, and really solidifying and remembering that we have to protect each other because that is the memory of Colin that I have. So that is why it has gone from the Charleston area Pagan Pride, which was Colin's event, to now Metro Valley Pagan Pride, which is our event, and it's welcome to anybody, especially if you're between Charleston and Huntington, clear out to Logan. That's the area we're covering now.
Mm-hmm.
We've already got a suicide prevention class set up, and we're going to have a council for people who are members of the leaders in the community. We've already got a couple of other people we've already seen interest even before we announced it. That's going to be going down September 16th from 11 to 6, I believe, is what we decided on.
11 to 6, yes.
And we've got a council. We're making it big, folks. We're going to do this up right.
Right. Yes. And, reports of my death have been underreported since 1987.
Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Exactly. But during my little fever pitch that I decided to take off, you got me to do something I don't do that often, and I was actually sit down and watch a movie.
Yes! Because it's kind of... Yeah, how'd that one hit, Aeson? Did you feel that one in your soul?
I didn't feel it in my soul, honey. I mean, it didn't even warm my toes up.
Okay, well, I liked the second half of it. Once you got past the drama, honestly.
Yeah, I liked the second half.
So, the movie we're referring to, if you are a child of... If you remember the 90s at all, then you probably weren't there. But if you do, then there were those late night infomercials about a certain...
Call me now!
Jamaican psychic who was not actually from Jamaica.
Yeah. She was from California, possibly Seattle. We're not exactly sure currently.
Well, they did have somebody who knew her from her stage acting days.
Right, because she put on plays in Seattle, which is where we will call them the Clearwater, Florida gentleman found her at and recruited her to be an actress and perform a part.
The way she played it pretty straight from where, like, in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did point out that she had been an actress before,
Mm-hmm.
but she towed that line through that whole thing. Like, as far as people who knew her after it had all collapsed,
right,
they said that she still spoke with that Jamaican accent.
Right. Because she took on that.
Right. So she
that
took it
whole
to heart.
mantra.
Right.
It'd be like separating you from your beret.
My fedora.
Your fedora. Sorry. And we were kind of talking about this earlier, pre-show, that we do become our spiritual selves. We get that. But what I was really upset about is they did not cover the reason why the feds moved in.
They did say, here's the thing.
Attorney General, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely, the name of the show is Call Me Miss Cleo.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all remember Call Me Now for Your Free Reading. I actually made fun of it in one of my first edited videos, one of the first videos I did using DaVinci Resolve, how to become a psychic or something like that. I can't even remember. I need to redo it.
Right.
If you're brilliant, I'll never take it down, but it does need to be redone.
Right.
I've evolved since then.
Right.
But that show, she swears up and down. And through the video,
they pitched the same storyline.
They pitched the same storyline that she was basically like, look, if you want me to do this on camera, then I'm going to do it the way I do it. I don't need any staging or anything like that. And she just got up and people called her and she read on camera. And they kind of held that line.
Right.
They really did hold on to that line. And she only got paid like she got paid like a $1.50 for that. And they made millions off of her.
Well, consider this, okay? Because I was in this business and in the industry at this time. She got paid $14,000 for about 2 hours of work. The psychics that worked during that time got paid 14 cents a minute. I think I still have the contract around here somewhere. 14 cents a minute.
Yeah. And it was like $4 a minute.
Yeah, they were charging $4.99 at that time. Per minute. Well, $3.99 in 92 is when they went to $4.99, and then in 93, right before they got shut down, they were at $9.99 a minute.
Oh my god!
Yeah, charged to your phone bill.
Yeah, so you don't know how much you spent until it's gone.
Until it's done. There was some important legal actions that occurred here that actually govern how I run my business, how you run your business, how most psychics have to run their business now.
Right.
One, services are prepaid, meaning you cannot just charge me to your phone.
Right.
You have to know how much you're spending. You cannot have a reading longer than 120 minutes in the United States. The network will have to cut that call. That's why sometimes you're on the phone with a customer, and it just hangs up, and they're like, "I just tried to add money." It's because they've been on the phone for longer than an hour and 20 minutes within a 24-hour period.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of them that reached right up in there.
Yeah. So you have that. They also have you have to be above the age of 18.
Yeah. Now, see, that was one thing that they did bring up. Like, people's kids were calling in, and so they would get this bill with this outrageous number. Some of them, what I didn't realize was, like, because what they were doing, how Miss Cleo got wrapped up in the legal aspect of it to begin with was part of it. 'Cause she was kind of like...
She sold her image. She sold her image. This
So
is something as little psychics or big psychics never sell your name.
never saw your name. But also, like, it was more than just that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not only were they using her as a spokesperson, which I guess she didn't know that they were signing collection letters with her name.
Yeah. Collection letters. They could do anything with her name because they owned your name.
Right. So that's how she got wrapped up in it.
Right.
And that's also how she actually walked away from that situation. I'm not going to say none the worse for wear because it ruined her, but
it ruined her, but at the same time, the problem, and this is how she didn't get charged with anything, was it wasn't her fault. When we get down to Virginia, Miss Cleo, which anybody that worked with her knew as Virginia, when we get down to that brass tacks, she done nothing except sign a very bad contract and sell her likeness. We've seen this with one of the dress designers.
I tell you what, one of my favorite psychics, one of my absolute heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember his name. He's another Netflix series that I watched because I didn't know about him until I saw about him on Netflix. But he's the guy, mucho amor.
Helen Teller.
What? No, Penn and Teller are atheist as hell.
Okay. Go on.
Whatever. Anyway, that's the name of the show. The name of the series on him was Mucho Amor, and like much love. And that's how he would end his shows. Which you all know that always my shows. I've got a pretty cool tagline too.
Yes,
I didn't realize he was my hero until after I had already gone onto a path where I was like, that's the end goal. Except he signed a bad contract. He signed a shitty contract. He got raked over the coals. And it was only years later that he was able to get his name back. But, you know, once somebody owns your name, owns your company, and this is true for any company. If you start up a shop, I remember when my dad sold his business, he sold the name, he sold all of his contacts that he was not allowed to use for 2 years. He was not allowed to go into any of the events. He was not allowed to set up a booth at any of the events that he sold with that business.
Mm-hmm.
For I think it was either 2 or 5 years.
Right.
But honestly, if you come off the road for 2 years, you're not getting back on it. You're starting fresh.
Right. But no, see, this is a big problem in the old network system.
Walter Mercado, yes.
Yeah. This is the big problem in the old network system is they own your name. There are still companies out there now. You worked for one when you first, because you had a very bad taste in your mouth with networks. And it's like, yeah, I know you're working for the Clearwater Florida boys, which they're still in business today. They are still in business.
It was One Sun was the name of the company and they disseminated it out. So here's a good way to know, like, number one, if you're interested, if you're watching this show, then you're obviously interested in psychics. Contact your psychic directly.
Mm-hmm.
We're all small business owners, and there are a few that would rather work very specific hotlines.
Yep.
Keen being one of the best ones. I will give him credit 100%. That is the best hotline I've ever worked for.
Right.
There's problems still, but you know, business.
It's business, and they treat us good.
They seem to listen for the most part.
Right.
It's a complicated mess, but it is what it is.
Nobody has picked up the phone and called Dottie at 2:00 in the morning and told her, "Get your fucking ass out of bed. The network is full. I need you online now."
Yeah. So let me tell you about. I will straight say the name. It's been long enough. They can't say anything. But One Sun hired me on. I had to use a pseudonym.
Right, because they own the pseudonym.
Well, I don't think they actually owned it.
Yeah. You can't read underneath it. Guarantee you another contract.
I don't even know. Like, I think the contract was only for a couple of years. It's been long enough that they can't really come after me.
Right.
But my name was Luna Soul under this. I had to use a pseudonym. I had to get a very nice picture. It could not be just a simple selfie. It had to be a actual, like, I think they wanted a passport shot. They were charging $4.99, and I was getting 49 cents. If I capped a certain amount of time, then they would give me 60 cents.
1,800 minutes.
1,800 minutes, and then if I stayed with them long enough, then the number started to go up.
Mm-hmm.
But and nobody on that network, nobody who was getting calls, was making more than like $2 or $3 a minute, and those were the people who were charging $13.99.
Right. So if you want to go work for the original guys that owned Miss Cleo, you can go do so. They're still hiring to this day. And I will blast the website. It's called the Psychic Power Network, PPN.
Yeah, don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do one sign. I have heard of some really good ones. I know somebody who's had a lot of luck with you know what? Never mind. The name has completely eluded me.
Well, but no, PPN still works out there. Right. The other dude that went on and he started Ask Now after his 10-year ban, he could not do anything in the industry for 10 years. So if you'll notice, when PRN started is 2002. The Fed showed up in 93. He literally started the business the day he was free. He was continuing to make money off these people.
Here's the thing. Number one, I'm going to do a Finding Your Psychic video, because really, that's some good information to have.
Right.
I think a lot of the original Dottie the Psychic channel is going to start to become things for people who are new.
Right. To the world.
Yeah, new to the world. Clients. Right. Clients.
Right.
And people who are new to psychics and whatnot. But one of the big ways that you can tell if that site is bullshit is if everybody's price is the exact same.
Yep.
Because if it's the exact same, that means the people who are working it are not setting the prices.
Right.
If you choose to go on a hotline.
Right.
Also, and this is pretty much across the board, the hotlines spend money on advertising. So they will not let your psychic that you meet on the hotline advertise that they're working anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find one you really like, you may be able to look them up separate.
Right.
Did you know that, like, I didn't know that we may want to go ahead and run the
break. Yeah, let's run a break.
And then I got something else I want to talk about that video.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Aeson Knight. Hi, Aeson. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to try to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Van chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit TracyVan.com, TracyVann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
All right, welcome back. You being silly over there, but so this showed more of the personal side of her. There's another movie called The Hotline out there that shows more of the business side of things.
Right.
But I don't know if anybody's really captured what all went down.
You know what though? Like honestly, because she was kind of just this figurehead that popped up and disappeared in my world. Like everybody knows her, like Sylvia Brown. Everybody knows Sylvia Brown. What I didn't know, and this, this is a special little intersection for us.
Mm-hmm.
She was a lesbian.
Yep.
I did not know that. Apparently, she didn't come out until after the Hotline days.
You didn't. You did not come out. That would have been the end, because this is pre-Ellen.
Right. Well, yeah.
Okay.
It was dangerous.
Yeah, very much. Well, you wouldn't have had a career.
Yeah, it's funny. You wouldn't have had a career really even 20 years ago.
Right.
When I first came out, but I came out like in high school, so
right.
It has been a part of my life the whole time.
Right. So with that, there's a lot of different things that go on. That was an added piece that I wasn't aware of. They had one guy talking on there, and I don't remember him. Like, he's one of the 3,000 advisors they had. And he actually talked about, sitting on the phone and talking and, being on the phone and having to develop a stick or a way to do readings. Because he's
like, sometimes I answer the phone like a Southern woman. And you know what? I hate to say it, but yeah.
Yeah. You have to have your image.
My image is who I am.
Your image is who you are. It's good if your image is who you are. I answer the phone like I've answered the phone for 20 years. Hi, this is Aeson. How can I help you? All right, let's take a look at this bullshit and see what's sorted out. My readings don't change. I don't change my personality. I don't do voices. I've never done voices.
I don't know anybody who's actually done voices.
I don't either. Now, I know people that do not use their real names. They do not use even close to the real names. Like, their name's Laura Beth, and they read under, guided medium or whatever. But those are falling out of favor.
Well, I think a lot of that, here's the thing, a lot of that is partially from the good old days where everybody, it was more of a stage production.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny, because that's part of the aspect I've definitely sort of brought back with the
Right.
whole wigs.
Well, but there's still that image.
Right. But also, there's, especially, and it's starting to get louder now,
Mm-hmm.
but back in the day, you didn't want people to know your real name because you didn't want your neighbors to find out.
Right. Or your father. Or your ex-husband.
Or anybody else who could have even the smallest amount of
Weight power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, people lost their kids just for being pagan. And
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why Lady Liberty popped up. But even more so now, you know, when you start looking at A-listers like John Edwards, the Long Island Medium, because God knows that nobody wants that haircut.
But it does make her stand out.
It makes her stand out. You know, coffee and cowboy boots. You know, Aeson's in the building. You know, those are things that make your image. And that's what, if you take anything from the Cleo debacle, two things. Know your fucking contract. Read your contract. Have a lawyer review your contract. 2, define yourself. You know, there's this meme that floats around Facebook. Name 5 things that could summon me. Well, if you are an entertainer, you need to have those 5 things in key.
Right. Well, I remember when you and I were setting up this whole thing, which has been, good God.
Year?
More than a year.
More than a year, okay.
Well over a year, because you remember when I got my real business license, we were already set up by then.
Yeah.
2020.
2020. Wow. 3 years I've been working with you.
And you survived them all.
I know. We're doing great. We've even survived death on both sides of this. But, you know.
It takes a lot not to try to kill me.
It takes a lot to try to kill me, honey. I swear this cult's trying to. But, you know, it's the thing of, you have to, in this business, have an image and keep an image and maintain an image. And as you get higher in the echelons, things take notice. Little things that you don't even think about now can greatly affect how your business is.
Yeah.
You know, people don't think about that, you know, on the outside or on the inside. You know, if you're coming into the business or you're going out of the business or you're in the business, it really determines what company you work for, what companies you're working for. You know, I'm on Fortuna, I'm on Zodiac, I'm on Keen, I'm on Click for Advisor. They aren't slave networks. I won't work for a slave network. They're going to pay me good money or I ain't showing up.
Fair enough. And that's part of why I don't, because my dream is not have to work for a network. I honestly, right. And this is it's more unstable because
right.
I have to build a reputation around myself inside my community.
Right.
But I want private clientele.
Oh, I love my privates. I love my privates to death. But, you know, I don't like the long distance bill to Taiwan. I don't like the long distance bill to you know, Italy, or, you know, that's where most of my international comes in, is through the network because it's cheaper for both of us.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. You know, it's like a client I had this morning. She's in Switzerland. She says, I'm glad.
Everclear. Sorry. That's the network I was trying to remember earlier was Everclear.
Everclear. I don't know much about them. I really have not. They are newbie babies on the market.
I'm interested because the one person I talked to who was working through them said that they were giving her most of the money.
Well, that's interesting. That's good if they are. But, you know, on the other side of that, it's what's she doing? Like, you know, what rights and restrictions do they have?
Right. How much advertising are they doing? How much flow?
How much flow? How much are they actually taking versus, oh, they're giving me most of the money. Yeah, they're giving you most of what you see of the money. But what are they really charging?
Apparently, they were letting her set the price. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't really looked into it.
Right. But no, I don't know nothing about them. Ingenio, I'm really happy with that global company. They do me well. They've always done me well. Now, I give them hell. There's videos of me giving them hell publicly. But, you know, that's one of the bigger things that people don't think about.
That's true.
You know, is who are you aligned with?
You know what? This is something I keep moving back and forth from the camera, which I always do. But I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was like, after the Miss Cleo blow up, she was like, a lot of people haven't heard of professional psychics. I'm like, I mean, I see advertisements for Keen all the time on my stuff, but I'm a Keen advisor. So the algorithm is probably going to feed me more advertisements related to psychic stuff. In fact, that was my problem with it. Right now, I have no control over the commercials that show up before my videos. Right. None whatsoever.
Right.
But one of the things I ran into back, because I set this up right before Apocalypse happened.
Right. But
and I turned off my commercials before Apocalypse happened, and you had to do the whole, and you had to be part of that whole thing, right. The whole YouTube partnership thing, because they would always put other psychics in front of my videos.
Right. Well, what gets me is, you know, we are back on television. And it's weird that to be watching Lifetime and seeing a commercial now and it not being Cleo, or it not being Dionne Warwick, or it not being what was her the other one?
Sylvia Brown?
No, Sylvia. I'll go back and watch Sylvia Brown stuff because I got a lot of my reading style from her.
I can see that. I loved her. I don't know. I loved her videos. I got mixed feelings about her.
Well, she should have retired after the first heart attack. Okay, let's just put it bluntly honest. She should have retired at the first heart attack.
Right.
Okay.
There comes a point where you can't.
There comes a point when you need to retire.
Yeah.
When you
start. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, she should have retired. She should have retired.
Yeah. I mean, because the poor woman was on the road all but 20 weeks a year. Flying here, doing this conference, doing this, doing that. When she was with Hay House, they worked her to damn death. But her ex-husband left her in a ton of fucking debt.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she had to get out and hit and perform. And to keep doing it. That's why when she had her heart attack in Hawaii, that's why she was in Hawaii, was she was doing a Hay House conference.
Wow. See, another reason not to sign your name away.
Yeah, well, another reason to know who's working for you.
Yeah.
You know, there is not a contract signed that I do not sign. There is not a check wrote that I do not write in my business. I don't care how big I get. That's how it is.
Yeah,
you know, that's a lesson I have learned from every single one of them. The other thing that I'm learning. Believe me, I am not the master of this, but I am learning. Have your limits.
Yeah, that is the hardest part for me because, I mean, I tell you what, like, you and Joe have pulled my ass out of the fire a few times because I know that I have depression and there are times where I just go down.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fine. Now we got a local there that can come in, pull you up and go, dust her off and throw her on stage. But, you know, I am learning my limits. I am learning that I cannot see 20 private clients in a day.
That is a lot.
You know, if I am sick, there's not going to be a show, guys. Sorry. Can't do it. That Mountain Bear episode we had to cancel, there was no way in 7 Layers of Hades with a fever of 102 I could have done it.
I know was that the one you were asking me to do? And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
No, that's the one that I needed I needed a spot covered for Joe. We canceled one Mountain Bears totally. It ain't happening. And the next one, I was good enough to do it. And we actually got the invisible assistant on to do it. And he co-hosted.
I think I
Yeah,
can do that.
on camera, which has gotten him maybe wanting to go back and game again. So that'll be good. But, point being though is, the things that we need to do this in our industry because no one else is doing it. Sorry, no one else is going back and going,
professional self-care. Honestly, you know what? This actually goes back to like the psychic conference, the metaphysical conference for professionals. This is one of the things I wanted to cover because
and that's what I'm talking about in my class a good bit is professional self-care, setting your limits, learning from the people. Here's the facts. If Sylvia had limited her readings, she would probably still be around. But the machine that was behind her is kind of like the machine that's behind both of us now. It's too damn big. It is too big. Right. All right. So
all you can do is keep it up or let it fail. And that's we put a lot into this. Like, this is a dream come true for me. And I'm making it work, but it's a lot of work. And it's funny because the thing that we preach more than anything else is to honor your own intuition. Right. And take care of yourself. What's the one thing? It's the nurse's curse.
Right. But, that's the other thing is the other thing there is know your contracts. Know what you're doing. Don't get too big. Don't get so big. And, we teach to get rid of limiting beliefs. But at the same time, you have to know when to limit that belief.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and it's not even so much that you can't, because you can push yourself way further than is healthy.
Right.
Why?
Right.
What are you working for?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And what, we get very much employed by spirit, and spirit doesn't understand the limitation of the body.
Okay, you know what? Pause right there. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage, and then I want you to talk more about that so we can bring in the psychic conference and the other big events.
All right.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Aeson and some of the best psychics in West Virginia to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines Aeson with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self-Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic That Plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer at pcsbnetwork.com today.
Hi, I'm Aeson St. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aeonlight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that call now button there on my site. Great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. All right.
So let's talk psychic professionalism. We were about to start talking about a subject that you were going to speak about at our professional metaphysical.
You get hired by
metaphysical
spirit.
professional conference.
You get hired by spirit technically when you take on the mantra of being a psychic. So therefore, you get clients everywhere, and you have to draw barriers. When you're sick, setting your limit, understanding how far you can run there. The other part is you have to draw professional barriers of, no, I am not going to your swinger, or no, that doesn't fit my image, so I'm not going to do that. And that's the hardest things for psychics, because we get stuck in that service mentality, service thing of, we have to answer this question. And, you're balancing three different balls at the same time. What spirit has, you do. What your network has, you do, and where your professional boundaries come in there, and your professional self-care. It's like, it's not an unknown fact that I have a massage therapist. I have a massage therapist because A, I have back problems, and B, that's my self-care every week. It is worth it. And taking that extra step there. Not only developing your professional image, but your professional boundaries. I have clients that will bounce networks and call me from one to another, and that's fine. I don't care where they call me from. But at the end of the day, am I doing what's best for my client is the key importance there. And we see with Miss Cleo that she got a bad shaft in multiple directions. One, everyone blamed her. She had nothing to do.
She was used as a mascot. She was a mascot, and
she wasn't even a mascot. She was just sold, like a damn commodity.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute, Shannon. That is a freaking cool idea. I love the idea of voodoo self-care dolls.
Yes. Can you please put mine
I actually have a mental health puppet of my own. I have put it's I sewed, I embroidered on the back. It's gonna be okay.
Yep. I love that idea, Shannon. That's really a cool idea. But no, when you're dealing in the professional arena, you have to be professional. And no one teaches anybody professionalism anymore. We hear about business casual, and it's like, no, you're a psychic. You don't show up in business casual. You show up in your uniform.
This is actually a conversation, and obviously I have completely ignored you when it comes to the whole uniform. I'm not even wearing the makeup, which he's called me out on air about. I'm like, no, my bare face is part of my gig.
Well, I'm going to do it. Come on, girl. You got a camera on you. At least put on some foundation, for God's sakes. Your poor Irish blood is showing through your veins. Yeah.
That's part of my face. But no, honestly, it's funny because as contradictory as I can be as the problem child that I know that I am at heart, I do actually try to take most of your advice into consideration. And the one thing that's stuck harder than anything else is that my time's not free.
No.
I don't have, just because somebody called doesn't mean I have to give them my time. I don't have to accept rudeness. I don't have to give away my readings. In fact, it's not good to do that because I'm undermining the clients who are willing to pay.
Well, not only that, but you're undermining spirit, because here's the original setup was we would be set up in beautiful homes in our little villages, and people would bring us food, and people would chop our wood, and people would, that want to read the tarot would clean our house, whatever. Guess what? That's over with. Nobody is showing up to clean my house for a reading. No one is showing
Right.
up to do my paperwork. And then,
Yeah. I'll stop charging if you take me on vacation. I'll stop charging when you buy my drinks. I'll stop charging when you buy my house.
Yeah. We are
that's
longer.
something that I've run into.
And that's a Reiki principle, and like that was the earthquaking is. Yeah, I do a lot of free pro bono stuff. Believe me, show me a benefit, set me up a table. I'll gladly do a benefit, but no, my time is valuable because it's the energy exchange of a construction worker. They've done this study where they could, that weird camera that does auras and stuff. They done it and was able to show the energy of a construction worker and the energy of someone doing a reading, and it was the same energy pattern.
You know what? I totally believe that. And also, I'm a practical bitch.
Right.
I like to break it down. To practical sense. Here's the thing. In the end of the day, you are spending money for a conversation with another rational adult.
Yep.
The reading, even if, and I very much believe in the psychic aspect, or I wouldn't be out here doing it. I'm not a life coach. I am a psychic. But even as a life coach, which I'm working on, folks, even as a life coaching, you are taking time that you could be doing something for yourself and dedicating it to another person. If that person's not willing to dedicate something back to you, that is an unequal relationship.
Right.
There are people that I do free. Huh?
And I'm highlighting Jason's comment here because it comes down from Conjure and Hoodoo, and it comes down from Reiki. It comes down from all the spiritual past. But somewhere around the 60s, it got all messed up.
Yeah, it was part of the hippie movement. Some people is like, and I know that there are traditions that don't charge for their magic, but they're also the same traditions that are very much about hiding their magic. They only perform. It's like the old. I know that there was an old gypsy way of doing it where they didn't do real magic for the Goyim. They only did it for their own people. They didn't show their real magic off.
Right.
And they didn't charge for their real magic, but they would charge, these outsiders.
Show me some love. Anytime you want to show me some love, you can just cross those palms with silver all you like.
Right.
Okay. There is Goryeo magic or Grice magic, and then there is magic. If I'm working magic, I'll never say a damn word to you. You also don't see me sell prayers either, which is a classical piss me off thing.
God, no, you can't. There are certain aspects of spiritual work that you can't do for somebody else.
Right.
They have to have that person's magical signature on it. Anything that
I'm no longer doing job spells because I can't afford to take another job. I am no longer working magic for somebody else to get a job. I will tell you what to go do. I am not doing it for you. I'm trying to get a job. I'm already working 12 networks now.
Right. I think that, it's not impossible. And I know that there are people out there who do sell spell work, and I'm not going to sit here and discount them because I do think that a lot of them know what they're doing. That's how their magic works, and they can sell that. And I don't have, it's not for me.
Right.
Number one, as a psychic, it's a bad look to do magic as a psychic because then people start to think you're one of those people that tells everybody they're cursed. If I tell you I think you actually have some dark magic on you, I'm usually going to give you a pretty basic cleansing spell and send you to your local metaphysical shop.
I'm going to do simpler than that. I'm going to send you to go take a damn shower because you damn stink. Okay? I'm sorry. If you've got bad juju on you, stink. You need salt in a bath. Go get it. Throw some basil in
Well,
it.
right. Sort yourself out, mate. You probably pissed somebody off. Although I did see something I'm pretty sure is a curse because I don't think I can find a medical reason for it. Didn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have mentioned that on here.
But anyhow,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do with that. Do you want a money spell? I will sell you a money spell. I have no problem selling you a money spell, telling you exactly what to go do and how to do it. It ain't going to be $15,000 though.
Right. Yeah. You can go get the Azure Green $20 spell kit.
No,
Which
you're going to go down to
great.
a metaphysical store like Earth Magic, pick up the supplies, go home, and do the work.
Right. I think that, you know what, and honestly, I do think we need to promote our metaphysical shops because they are anchors of the community.
Right.
I tried very hard. That's part of why on Madame Tortuga's Lounge, I've got the psychic shopping videos, and I am still working on Moe's. I swear to God, it's just that every time I've sat down to do it, there's been something wrong with my computer. And
divine timing will occur when it is meant to go out.
Right. I'm hoping it's meant to go out before February because they're actually going to be on shameless self-promotion.
That'll be fun because she's amazing. I love Madame Mo. She is an awesome, awesome reader. She is a wonderful person.
Yeah, they'd have to go for Aeson to work anymore.
Well, they're working on that. The Earth has began spinning a minute. It's 28 seconds faster since I've been sick.
It only feels like it.
No, we'll be talking about this tomorrow night. You guys will have to tune in. But the Earth is spinning faster.
Oh, God.
I may get an 8-day in there before too long.
I know we wanted to keep this right at an hour. Do we want to start? I'm honestly tired, y'all.
All right. So what do you want to talk real fast?
Don't forget to mark your make sure you're marking your calendars. If you're a professional metaphysical professional, you can hit me up on Facebook. The conference will be RSVP only because I've got a limited amount of seats and because I'm going to try and do some sort of fancy hors d'oeuvre. So I should have that event. I'm hoping to have that event all posted out sometime next week.
Right.
And of course, Metro Valley Pagan Pride is going to be September 16th at the Valley Park in Hurricane. Be there or be square.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to answer Crowley's answer here. I ain't done nothing. I ain't cleaned house. I ain't done not a dang thing. I went vertical and into the astral plane for about 3 days. You can ask Dottie.
Yeah, that's probably why the world's split up. Or it might have just been my constructive manic phase. I definitely feel like the world is moving a little faster.
It is. Scientifically proven it is moving a little faster. I am out of Tornado Alley oil. I do want some Tornado Alley oil. Matter of fact, she's coming out with a new collection. And yes, I will be taking the lovely Discover off to that lovely shop to buy me my new oil supplies. You guys can look for some new creations coming out this spring, hopefully. We will see what happens.
I need to get a wholesaler for some stuff because I got the gift shop over here. I haven't decided what all I'm going to put in there yet.
Well, we'll discuss that later. Business idea. You've got too many damn irons in the fire.
That is so fucking true.
You're acting like an Aries. How late of it into the birthday are you?
I'm a Pisces. I cover all the houses at any given moment.
Tell me about it. But at the same time, you're acting like an Aries. That's my job.
You know what? Okay, so you all can't see him, but over in the corners, my boyfriend just laughing his ass off at me very quietly.
Uh-huh. But, in general, Miss Cleo is a great personal story. Do not believe they did not cover the debacle with the owners and how the owners treated the employees. They did not talk about calling you after you've been online. Let's say you've been signed in for 19 hours and talking 19 hours, calling you, interrupting your call and telling you have to stay on because you've got a lot of people. I really wish that they had covered more of the inner workings of PRN at the times. One, just so that they would, I don't know, maybe give me a little acknowledgement on all the training I'd done at the time.
He says hi.
What about you? Because you grew up as a child in that era, but you weren't working in that era.
No, because honestly, I didn't realize that being a psychic was an option until I headed into my nervous breakdown. Like Dottie the Psychic is a character that I created in a very dark space in my life and have grown into. Because it was a very weird place. Honestly, because I remember watching all the Sylvia Brown, Miss Cleo, and all the ghost shows. Clear up, because and I'm not talking about the ghost hunter shows, which fuck you, Zach Baggins. Just fuck you.
Damn demon. I need some work here.
Right, but no, I mean the story ones where people are like, yeah, I had a ghost in my house and this happened, and like I always thought like Unsolved Mysteries. The ghost story episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, and those like spun out of control, and I loved those. So that was a big part of that was a big part of my entertainment for a long time, and I still irritate the hell out of my roommates with like haunted celebrities or whatever it was.
Yeah, haunted celebrities.
Yeah,
stories. Those are real. Like I've worked a few cases. Those are real.
You know what? I've done some interesting house cleansings. It's kind of funny because these people will be like, things are going terrible. I can't get any sleep. I'm getting scratched. And like I go in and I'm like, it's just this mean old man spirit who didn't leave when they died. I'm like, Papaw, pull it together and go home.
And get the hell out of here.
Yeah, there's the light. Get out. Oh my God, I did that at a I was doing this house cleansing, and there was like this girl there, and she's like, I was like, yeah. So the spirit just moved on, and she's like, yeah, apparently the spirit's name was Papa. I was like, no, I was just being rude because he was mean.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just being rude to the spirit. You don't know enough to be rude to spirits yet. Like, you remember that joke you told me where like beginners are like, oh no, it's scary. It must be a demon. Like, intermediate are like, let's have a conversation, and once you become an expert, you're like, John, you ain't paying rent, knock it off.
Right. And it's like, get the hell out. At this point I'm like, just get the hell out.
Right.
So there is a video on. Did you leave it on Dottie the Psychic?
Huh?
Did you leave it on Dottie the Psychic? My favorite video of yours, the scamming psychic video.
Oh yeah, no, it's on the main channel because that's one of my the things on Dottie the Psychic. The main channel is still my main channel. That is my video essay channel. That's where I want to put all the stuff that is evergreen material, because I don't want to do any. I put so much effort and work into it that everything else kind of does stupid things to the algorithm. That's part of why the first thing to drop off was my what was it? Cause of the month.
Right.
Even though they still wreck my algorithm, I left them up because a lot of them I did a lot of work. My first death video was a cause of the month video for the Order of the Good Death.
Right.
So all those videos, my long form, dressed up, wigs, I will get these bitches cleaned up. It's just been.
I tell you, I swear when I come down there, I'm going to come down with a bottle of fabric softener.
Do it.
Or disciplined, poor wigs that have been, so neglected. God, you done that video over a year ago.
God, yeah. Like, I love the Tessiomancy. Really? The scammer video has been over a year now?
Yes. If you guys have not gone and watched this video, please go and watch this video. Give her some love on that poor site.
I've put a lot of work on it, and that channel has not gotten the traction it deserves. Period.
But this was actually a good quality video.
They were all good quality video. Well, not all of them good quality videos. And most of the ones that weren't good quality videos have either gone away or been moved to Madame Tortuga's Lounge. Madame Tortuga's Lounge was all the things that are community building: the psychic shopping, the vlogs, the live streams.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah. But anyway, this video is a really good quality one. It's one that I'm really proud that you've done because I inspired it because I threw a bitch fit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, me throwing bitch fits apparently makes waves, and that's an example of knowing what is my brand and what isn't my brand, and that wasn't my brand. That was your brand, and you did amazing on it. All right, guys, we are wrapping this up. We hope you've enjoyed our coffee and tea. I'm due for a refill. How about you, darling?
I'm due for a nap.
You're due for a nap. Okay. She needs Earl Grey tea next time.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys. You guys have a lovely evening, and we will see you tomorrow night with reviewers. I need to do Patreons, and you need to do your Tortuga thing. So, thank you, Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Vaughn, and Caitlin Bell. And, of course, there's a new one there. It hasn't been added. But thank you guys for being our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to learn how to support the Patreon network, please visit PCSPnetwork.com. And Miss Dottie, what do you got?
Okay, he said my theme song, and I think he's thinking DOTTIE, thepsychic.com, but that's not actually my theme song. My theme song is Dottie, Dottie the Psychic, Queer of the Weird Frontier. Safe traveling, much profit to you.
Good night, y'all.